is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
And thank you, TWRA, for that. This week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. Hey, Brandon, they got a full freezer over there already. They are doing it to it, man. I mean, Tennessee hunters are getting out there in 85, 87 degrees.
I think it's that new
sweat
jerky.
rolling off the brow.
It's that new jerky maker they have. That's what it is.
That's it. What we got here today?
All right, here we've got a picture here. Actually, this is Andy Griggs with a bull elk that he shot just a couple weeks ago.
Do you think he's happy?
In Montana? I think he's a little bit happy about it. I'm not sure, but
I see a new song
have made his day. Yeah, he's probably gonna write a song about that. That's right. So that was a neat deal there. The next picture we've got here is going to be, this is Don Sorey.
One of my good friends.
Yeah, a good friend of yours sent us this picture the other day. Shot this 8-pointer in Gallatin up there in the big Buck County up there in Sumner County. And so we appreciate him sending that in.
Don Sorey, Brian Pitton, a big shout out to them. Most of those guys are hunting hogs this time of year. Don broke down and had to put a shish kebab through a whitetail.
I don't blame him either. Okay, and then here on our last picture here tonight, we've got Vincent Lanning. This guy, he's one of the moderators with me on Tennessee Deer Hunters, and owns Bird On Supply there in Mount Juliet. He bought a farm a couple years ago in Hickman County, and he has been managing the fire out of it for a couple years. It's the first buck he's taken off his farm, and it is certainly paying off. It's a nice 11-pointer right there, buddy.
Nice one right there.
So congratulations to Vincent on that.
All right, you can send your pictures to us here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219. Better yet, through our Facebook page at Southern Woods and Waters. Check us out, like us, share us, get your friends involved, but ask us questions. Hey, we get a lot of questions about deer, and I even got some about turkey this week.
Yeah, all sorts.
The fall turkey season's right around the corner, but fishing is always on the agenda. And I do want to tell everybody, hey, fishing is going crazy right now. A lot of people are catching some nice bass. Some places are finicky, so some places are finicky. Corps of Engineers is playing with water levels again, and I'm like, oh gosh. And it just makes it a little tougher when they start degressing instead of increasing. So, but if you find nice cloudy days, let me tell you something, top water bite for bass is working for smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. Then of course there's nothing like a jig when it gets, if the water's falling, I like to use a jig or a shaky head so you can always incur a bite. Crappie fishing is picking up, but let me tell you something, you might not like where they're picking up. They are on Guntersville, and Guntersville is on fire right now for crappie. Another one that I think you're going to see in the next week is going to be Chickamauga. Chickamauga is going to be on fire.
As they get this water right and everything, it'll start firing up everywhere.
If we drop another 3 degrees, and by the way, last Saturday water temperature dropped 6 degrees in 4 days. So it was pretty awesome. If we get these cold fronts coming in, we get that water down right, we get the temperature down right, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, buddy. I'm telling you.
Be just right for that tournament.
It sure will. Hey, Brandon and I are talking tonight. Just we had a guest that couldn't show because of illness in the family, but you know, Brandon and I, we're not short on conversation.
We can talk. we can do that.
We can bring anybody in talking about deer hunting.
That's right. Whatever you want to talk about.
We talked about just a little bit about the Peyton Massey, Clint Holden, Jason Bauer with Tennessee Blood Trailer Network. We know about that now. We still think that you need to keep in mind these crop deprivation tags also. When we're asked at the end of this season what we would like to see changed or what we would like to talk about, I was just telling Rick Casebeer, our white-tailed deer are considered, Brandon, a state resource. And we've talked about this, that these crop deprivation tags that these farmers are allowed to have where they kill 40, 50, 60 deer. I've heard as high as 90.
Oh yeah, well, I've heard higher than that.
But they shoot them and leave them laying in the field. You can't go touch them, you can't go do anything, you can't drag them out, you have to just shoot them, let them lay. Okay. We got several issues about that.
Yeah, that's something else that I would tell people to write in about. And they take the suggestions every year. I've written them every year for I don't know how long. And they do listen. I have been responded to before. So
I just think with the state of Tennessee and as many people that we have going hungry, that we could there's a better way. Something we can mesh together to make this work where people aren't hungry. They're not going to bed with their bellies growling.
Yeah, there has to be a better way somehow to get it to a list of people that are waiting on it. Maybe somehow get it to Hunters for the Hungry. We need to get it to somebody.
Somebody that will administer and take care of it.
Yeah, I agree.
And that may be the issue why they don't do it too. It may be that's so big that nobody can handle it. Yeah. But you know what I say to that? Can't never could. So why don't we try? And see where it goes. I'm just throwing it out there.
If you could take 50% of them the first year or something, even that's a huge.
Look how many people you can feed.
That's a big deal. So you don't think that day one we just have to be able to get every one of them. I mean, if we start, Rome wasn't built in a day.
No.
If we can just get a way to get a few, and then a few more maybe within a few years, none of them are going to waste. And the farmers still have their deprivation tags. People are eating the deer. Everybody's happy. So.
And I got to say this, and from the farmer's perspective, also, he's still losing crop. I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody says. He may not be losing as much, but wait again until next year. He's going to lose that same amount, if not more, because they've already multiplied too.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that there needs to be a way that our farmers and our hunters can come together, first of all, and farmers aren't scared to have a hunter on the property that he's going to sue him if something happens. There's a way we can get around that too, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. But then, instead of giving out these crop deprivation tags and just letting our state resource lie out there and rot and become buzzard bait, why don't we have a way that we can bring them in and feed hungry families that have kids, women, men that work hard, but they come home and there's nothing on the table. Hey, come on, we're smarter than this. And so when that survey comes back around at the end of the season, let's try and make some conscientious efforts to
and be professional about it.
Yes, don't go
something else I can't stress. Don't go telling them blah blah blah. I think this and that. Be professional about it. State your opinion, what you think. And I'm telling you, there's a listening ear on that.
They will listen.
They do.
Our commissioners for TWRA listen to their constituents.
They do. And so if you're sitting back, that's just like when I hear people complain that didn't vote. It's kind of the same thing. If you're not going to take the time to drop a letter and say, hey, these are my thoughts, then don't complain about it.
Don't complain.
At least put your thoughts in there. They may not do exactly what you wrote that year, but put your thoughts in there, and it kind of puts your hat in the ring. So
sounds good. I'll tell you what, Brendan, you got our product of the week.
I do.
Let's go do our product of the week.
This week's product of the week's been brought to you by Caney Fork Outdoors. We want to tell you guys they actually had some more sales going on this week. And,
Lord, look at what they put out there today.
We shared some on our page.
My goodness.
So get over there and see Ryan over there in the Donaldson location, or you can go up there and see Mr. Joel and the rest of the family.
Miss Janice.
Miss Janice up there at the Big Rock Market, right there at the Caney Fork River exit. So be sure to contact them. What I've got this week, actually this year I had to myself get a new rangefinder, and so I looked around. I wanted a nice rangefinder because I've been down the road of buying the cheap one. That's why I was trying to get a new one this year.
Gotcha.
But I wanted something that would be high quality but wouldn't cost $1,000.
Yeah.
So I looked around and I found this Leupold. It's the RX 650, and this is a model that they put out to kind of be the same quality you get from any Leupold, but it's something that your average everyday working man can afford to buy.
That's right.
And I have just been blown away by the accuracy of it. And it's rated for 650, but I've hit trees at 700-800 yards with it. It's really been a good rangefinder. So,
and does it have the angle compensator?
This one does not. They do make a model that does.
Mine does. The Leupold R1000.
Yeah, the 1000 does.
Yes.
The 650 does not. I have shot it from elevated position, and I've not had any issue at all.
No.
But nonetheless, it's
20 yards is still 20 yards.
Yeah, that's right. It is, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later.
All right.
We got to take a break right now. We'll see you back here in just a minute.